On the edge of a quiet coastline, where gray cliffs met the endless sea, stood an old lighthouse that had watched over the ocean for more than a century. Its white stone walls had faded with time, and its lantern had long since stopped guiding ships. Yet, every evening, just before midnight, a soft glow could sometimes be seen at the very top. No one could explain why. The nearby village had many stories about the lighthouse. Some believed it was haunted. Others said the sea itself remembered those who had never returned home. But the oldest fisherman would simply smile and whisper, "Some mysteries are kinder than they seem." One autumn evening, as gentle rain drifted across the coastline, a traveler named Ethan arrived at the village. He had been walking for days, searching not for treasure nor adventure, but for silence. His life in the city had become filled with endless noise, car horns, bright lights, busy streets, constant conversations. He longed for a place where time moved slowly. The villagers welcomed him warmly. An elderly woman serving tea noticed the tiredness in his eyes. "If you're looking for peace," she said softly, "there's an old lighthouse at the end of the cliffs." She paused. "But if you hear whispers tonight, don't be afraid." Ethan smiled politely, believing it was only another local legend. After thanking her, he followed a narrow path that wound through fields of tall grass, swaying gently in the evening breeze. The air smelled of salt and rain. Far below, waves rolled calmly against ancient rocks. As darkness slowly covered the sea, the lighthouse appeared through the mist. It was taller than he expected, beautiful, quiet, almost forgotten. The heavy wooden door opened with a slow creak. Inside, everything was still. Dust floated lazily through the air. Old spiral stairs curved upward into darkness. Each step echoed softly beneath his boots. He climbed carefully, floor after floor, round after round, until finally he reached the lantern room at the very top. Large windows surrounded him. Beyond the glass stretched the endless ocean beneath a sky filled with countless stars. The rain had stopped. Only the gentle sound of distant waves remained. For the first time in many months, Ethan felt completely at peace. He spread a small blanket across the wooden floor and watched the moonlight shimmer across the water. Time slowed. The sea breathed quietly. The wind whispered through tiny cracks in the stone walls. Everything felt calm, until he heard it. A voice, so soft, it could almost have been the wind. A single whisper, barely louder than a breath. "Follow." Ethan looked around. No one. Only empty stone walls. The whisper faded, then silence returned once again. He smiled to himself. Perhaps the old woman had planted the idea in his mind. Perhaps it was only the wind after all. He closed his eyes, listening, waiting, and just as sleep began to gently find him, the whisper returned. This time, a little closer. The whisper floated gently through the quiet air, soft, almost impossible to understand. Yet somehow, it sounded welcoming, not frightening, not threatening, simply patient. Ethan slowly opened his eyes. The lantern room remained empty. Moonlight spilled across the old wooden floor, painting gentle silver patterns that shifted with the clouds. Outside, the sea stretched endlessly into the darkness. The whisper came once more. "Follow." This time, Ethan noticed something unusual. The old spiral staircase seemed brighter than before, not with electric light, but with a pale golden glow that appeared to rise from somewhere below. Curious, he stood quietly. Every step he took echoed softly through the sleeping lighthouse. The ancient wood creaked beneath his feet. The stone walls felt cool beneath his fingertips. The air carried the comforting scent of salt water, old books, and rain. As he reached the lower level, he noticed something resting against the wall, a lantern. Its glass was cloudy with age. Its brass handle had turned green with time. Yet, without anyone touching it, a tiny golden flame slowly appeared inside. It flickered gently, almost as though it had been waiting. Ethan carefully picked it up. The lantern felt surprisingly warm, not hot, simply comforting. As he held it, another whisper drifted through the hallway. This way. The narrow hallway seemed longer than before. Doors lined each side. Most were closed. Some had nearly fallen apart. At the very end stood a small wooden door unlike the others. It was covered with tiny carvings of waves, stars,